Happy day, everyone. Welcome to Thoughtful Thursday. I'm miracle-minded life coach JJ Joshua at jj4insight.com. And today's topic is so much fun. It's the 2-minute miracle mood changer. Yeah, why do we need to change our moods? Well, because your life is precious. That's one reason. Because every minute of your day is how we're creating our future. And how often do we give away our power and our joy to a silly mood? I mean, have you ever had anybody, or maybe yourself, where you spilled coffee in the morning or something and said, oh, dang, it's going to be like that all day? Well, wait a minute. Who says that? What universal law says that just because one thing bad happens, you have to have a whole day like that? We have this ingrained in us that an emotional mood that we might just wake up with or comes on because of some kind of external trigger, that we have to play that out. Well, guess what? We really don't. The why is because your life is precious, and I'm going to talk about how simple this is to do in 2 minutes and why and how it works. First thing I want to do is welcome and give thanks. Welcome the energy and the help of Amy Cuddy, PhD, who is the founder of this posture that is what's going to help us change our mood in just 2 minutes. Amy Cuddy is a social psychologist. She's a staff member, or was a staff member at Harvard Business School, author of the book Presence. However, she's best known for her fabulous TED Talk, and the link to that is in the description below this YouTube. Thank you, Dr. Amy Cuddy, wherever you are. I am so grateful for you, girl. And what she learned, she and her students were studying posture and how it impacts people's lives. Well, we all know that how we look and how we show up makes an impression on others. Like, how much training did we get about how you show up for a job interview back in the days when you actually went in for a personal job interview? You got to stand up, you got to own your space. You wouldn't dream of going in all hunched over and your eyes down and not having your best clothes on. Posture, presence makes a difference in how others perceive us, but that's not what they were researching. She and her team, and thanks again, Amy, she and her team were researching how posture impacts our own impression of ourselves, our own inner landscape, and our own empowerment. So they set up an experiment on the campus of a mock job interview or interview for your doctorate, or just a stressful environment. And they took hormone samples from spit before and after the experiment. And they ran people through this process. And what they learned is by simply moving your body into the posture that's been called the Wonder Woman pose, or as Amy calls it, the power pose, which is simply hands on your hips, your stand slightly wider, chest up, and there you have it. That's the Wonder Woman power pose that Amy Cuddy and her team determined that holding that posture for just 2 minutes, just 2 minutes of your life, folks, moves the biochemical cocktail of your life, of your body, and your experience in that moment from fight or flight, cortisol, to testosterone. I've got this hormone. So from the victim hormone to the victory hormone now is in your body. Your circumstances may not have changed one iota, but your body chemistry has by holding that posture. And thank you again, Amy, for your research and your studies and that fabulous TED Talk. But you know what? That wasn't enough for me. I wanted to notch it up a little bit. I thank you for the baseline, Amy, but I want to take it up a little bit better. In my coaching practice, I work with my clients to create change on all 4 levels: physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual. So what Amy's work did is it got the physiology turned around from victim to victor, to victory. However, and the emotional content comes with that as well. So I wanted to notch it up. So I just simply added something that we also know works every time, and that is simply smiling. Especially if you kind of do a little goofy smile and you keep a broad smile. There's been research that if you just put a pencil in someone's mouth and leave it there for a certain amount of time, their hormone package will change. all of a sudden they're producing more dopamine, endorphins, and serotonin. Okay, now we're talking here, folks. Now we have the empowerment hormone, which is testosterone, and we put that together with the happy hormones, we have happy empowerment. Okay, that's great. But what about the spiritual level? What about how do we activate that? Well, Oprah Winfrey and many, many other people have written hundreds of books about the power of gratitude. But as a spiritual-minded, miracle-minded life coach, I have seen for 30 years the miracles that take place for my clients when they practice gratitude. So what we're going to do to add to Amy Cuddy's power posture, the smiles to get happy empowered hormones running, and also for those 2 minutes to stay in the field of gratitude. What are you grateful for right then and there? Right now, I'm grateful for Zoom so I can talk to you. Gratitude, I can actually see that it builds a bridge to your higher self. And your higher self is 100% empowered. Your higher self has wisdom. Your higher self has a perspective that our brain, conscious self, and certainly our inner kid and our body does not have. And as Einstein tells us, you cannot solve a problem from the same mind that created it. Bingo. So here we are now in our power posture, and we're smiling. And as I used to say to my sales team when I was back in my sales management days, smiling and dialing, smiling and dialing. And you're also spending 2 minutes really heartfully feeling your gratitude. What are you grateful for? In those 3 actions, you have activated physical, emotional, mental, and spiritual change. You have jumped out of the funky attitude to the fabulous attitude, from fear to love, from victim to victory, from hate to forgiveness. You can do all that if you really want to in 2 minutes or less. And you can do it in a bathroom stall. You can do it in an airplane bathroom. You can even do it sitting down. Her experiments show that those that are unable to stand can also do this as well in 2 minutes or more. Just add in those other 2 qualities, the smiling and the gratitude, to bump it up, to be even more empowering for you. So when do you want to use this? Okay, first thing in the day, during the COVID years, a lot of my clients complained across the board about kind of an existential dread. And we're pretty much past that now, but it's not entirely gone. So one of the great times to use it is first thing in the morning. You've got a big day ahead of you. What if you're a parent with young children and work? You're probably pretty tired. You may not have gotten all the rest you needed. And you want to move yourself into an empowered posture, an empowered attitude in 2 minutes. Go to the bathroom and do the power pose. Do your gratefulness. Do the smiling. Starting your day. It's also great. This time of year, we got lots of kids going back to school. If they're a little bit nervous about going to school, teach them the power posture. This is great for kids. They love this. They'll love the goofy smile. And they know about gratitude. Teach your kids to be grateful for the moment. So you can do it when any situation is before you that you're a little bit nervous about, maybe frightened about, or maybe really dreading. Get yourself into the power posture. Now, there have been a couple circumstances, a couple triggers in my personal experience that I really needed to do it twice or 3 times in the period of about an hour to get those biochemicals where I wanted them and to get my attitude where I wanted it. But, 2 minutes times 3, not much time. Another time to do it is when you really might be in a great deal of physical pain, or you just found out something very difficult news, or you saw something on the news that's very triggering, and you went from happy to just tanked and because of one thing that happened. Well, you don't want to deny that that happened to you, and I'm not telling you to suppress your feelings. I'm just saying you don't need to stay there very long. As soon as you can, remember, move your energy from funky to fabulous, from fear to love. And that reminds me another one of my favorite quotes from Buddha. It's attributed to Buddha, that enlightenment is the process of catching yourself off track faster than the time before. Okay, that I can do. That is so encouraging, that on my way to enlightenment, on my way to self-actualization, on my way to greater empowerment, I can catch myself off track faster than I did before in any way. And I can use this tool with my posture and my hormones and my gratitude and lift out of it. So that's as simple as it is, guys. It's just absolutely, well, it's available to you at any time. It's empowering, but it's also just a bridge. So I named this segment the Miracle 2-minute Miracle Mood Changer. So what's the miracle in all of this? The miracle is actually not Amy Cuddy's studies or discoveries. It's not even the gratitude piece. It's not the smiling. That's just biochemistry that we've discovered. And many, many people have discovered the power of gratitude to shift your perspective. The miracle is the moment you chose to do it. That's the miracle. Whenever you consciously choose to take charge over your inner landscape, your mood, your physiology, to raise it up, to become more empowered, to be a winner, when you make a choice to get out of the funk and into the fabulous, that moment is a miracle. And your higher self, by the way, is totally on board with that. Whenever you choose love over fear, your higher self rushes in to help you and support you. Whether you believe you have a higher self or not, doesn't matter. It's just there. It's working for you. And it's waiting for you to choose the higher path, to choose love. The miracle is in the choice. It's so simple. Amy Cuddy, at the end of her TED Talk, she implores us to please spread this science. And so I'm imploring you now, please forward this email, forward this YouTube, share the science, Amy Cuddy's science, and then just upping it with 2 more bonus features from JJ Joshua, so that you can move from funk to fabulous whenever you want to. Just go into the bathroom, going to get a little privacy, and just really give yourself 2 minutes of happy, empowered hormones, gratitude, and a shift in perspective. Thank you so much for clicking in today. I wish you many, many miracles, and ta-ta for now.